Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Lutfatul Hasina from E-Class, and now I will explain about word stress and intonation in phonology. Okay, check it out. Okay, now I will explain about word stress. In phonetic terms, stressed syllables in English are produced with a stronger burst in initiatory energy than unstressed syllables are. What makes a syllable prominent? Stressed syllables are different with unstressed syllables. There are four different factors are important. The first is stressed syllables are louder than unstressed syllables. Loudness. Many people seem to feel that stressed syllables are louder than unstressed. Loudness is a component of prominence. The second is the length of syllables. The length of syllables has an important part to play in prominence. The third is the pitch of syllables. Every voice syllable is said on some high pitch, it will produce an effect of prominence. The fourth is the quality of syllables. A syllable will become prominent if it contains a vowel, difference in quality. Word can be classified as simple word, complex word, and compound word. First, stress in simple words. Stress in simple words is predictable rules in many English words. Like in the verbs, stress the final syllable if heavy. For example, obey and atone. But stress the penultimate if light. Example, tally, hurry. Second, nouns. If the syllable preceding the final syllable contains a long vowel or diphthong, or it ends with more one consonant, the middle syllable will be stressed. Example, mimosa, disaster. And if the final syllable contains a short vowel and the middle syllable contains a short vowel and end with not more than one consonant, both final and middle syllables are unstressed and the first syllable is stressed. Example, quantity, cinema. The last is adverbs and adjectives. Most adjectives and adverbs seems to behave like verbs and have stress in the first syllable. Example, lovely, even, honest, perfect. Now, the second is stress in complex words. A complex word consists of two or more grammatical units. Example, carefully and careless. Complex words are of two major types: word made from a basic stem word with the addition of an affix, and compound words, which are made of two independent English words. Example, ice cream and armchair. The second is affixes, effects on word stress. Affixes have three possible effects on word stress. The affix itself receives the primary stress. Example, semicircle and personality. The word is stressed just if the affix was not there. Example, unpleasant, marketing. The stress remains on the stem, not the affix, but is shifted to a different syllable. Example, magnetic. The last is stress in compound words. Compound words are characterized by the probability to divide them into two words, both of which can exist independently as English words. The stress in compound words mainly fall on the first syllable. Example: typewriter, teacup. Okay, now we will talk about strong and weak syllables. There are two basic categories of syllables: strong syllables and weak syllables. Strong syllable is a strong syllable. A strong syllable has a rhyme which either has a syllable peak, which is a long vowel or diphthong, or a vowel followed by a coda, one or more consonants. For example, heart, bed. And weak syllable has a syllable peak which is a short vowel and no coda unless the syllable peak is qua. For example, re in reduce, be in herbicide, pan in open. One important thing is that only strong syllables can be stressed. Weak syllables are always unstressed. Stress in two-syllable words. In two-syllable words, either the first or the second syllable will be stressed, not the both. First, verb. If the second syllable of the verb is a strong, then the second syllable will be stressed. For example, apply, attract. If the final syllable is weak, then first syllable is stressed. For example, enter, open. 2. Adjectives. Same rule will be applied for two-syllable adjectives also. For example, lovely and divine. Third, nouns. Nouns require a different rule. If the second syllable contains a short vowel, then stress will usually come on the first syllable, otherwise it will be on the second syllable. For example, money and design. And the last is adverbs and prepositions. Adverbs and prepositions seem to behave like verbs and adjectives. And now, stress in three-syllable words. First, verb. In verbs, if the final syllable is strong, it will be stressed. Example, entertain, resurrect. But if the last syllable is weak, then it will be unstressed, and stress will be placed on the preceding syllable if that syllable is strong. For example, encounter, determine. If both the second and third syllables are weak, then the stress falls on the initial syllable. Example, parody. The last is nouns and adjective. Noun and adjectives have same rules of stress. If the final syllable is weak or ends with "u" sound, then it is unstressed. But if the syllable preceding this final syllable is strong, then the middle syllable will be stressed. Example, potato, disaster. If the second and third syllables are both weak, then the first syllable is stressed, like quantity, cinema. Okay, now we will talk about intonation. Actually, no definition is completely satisfactory, but any attempt at a definition must recognize that the pitch of the voice plays the most important part. There are several kinds of intonation, but the common is falling intonation and the rising intonation. Okay, we will talk first about falling intonation. The pitch. Falling intonation is the pitch of the voice falls at the end of the sentence. Standard unemphatic falling intonation is the most common type of intonation in English. It is used in statements, special questions, comments, exclamatory sentences, in the first part of disjunctive question and in the last part of alternative questions. The first example of falling intonation in statement is I live in I live in London. I live in London. The second example is in comment. Close your book. The third is exclamatory sentences. You are so beautiful. The last is in WH question. Who are you? Okay, the second most common intonation is rising intonation. Rising intonation is the pitch of the voice rises at the end of a sentence. Rising intonation invites the speaker to continue talking. It is normally used with yes or no questions and question tags that are real questions. The example of rising intonation in question tags or real that has real question is you have bought a car, haven't you? And the example, the rising intonation in yes or no question is do you love me? Okay, now we will talk about the other intonation, that is rise fall intonation. The intonation rises and then falls. We use rise fall intonation for choices, lists, unfinished thoughts, and conditional sentences. The example of rise fall intonation in choices that has alternative question is do you like ice cream or chocolate? And the example of rise fall intonations in lists is I have bought book, pen, eraser, and bag. And the last intonation is fall rise intonation. The voice falls and rises usually within one word. For example, in hesitation or reluctance. You didn't see her in Sunday? I don't quite remember. And the last example of fall rise intonation is in politeness, doubt, uncertainty. Do you think it's allowed? Okay everyone, that's all my explanation about word stress and intonation in phonology. I hope this video will be useful for us. Thank you for watching my video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.